Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the TV Terminal. My name is Adam Vale, senior editor over at thecoalition.com.
My name is Lawrence, aka a punk with toys on all the social medias.
And we are back, people, for Dexter Resurrection, Season 1, Episode 8, The Kill Room Where It Happens. Horrible title. Oh, man.
Long one.
I would have liked Cajun pasta. Cajun pasta would have been nice. Oh, damn, that was me.
And they don't really say it in this either. Normally they say the name of it.
Yeah.
Like somewhere during it, but they didn't say it during this.
No, they just implied. I guess this is for the wig shop salon and the whole thing. But real quick housekeeping. Again, thanks everybody for the comments and the shares and the likes and the subs and just all of it. It's been great. It continues to go on, whether it's for Dexter or Chief of War. We just finished Revival, where Lawrence and I are working on the terminal list. So Dark Wolf, get hyped for that. That's so far. Thumbs up, people. Thumbs up. It's a good show.
It was a long episode 1, which won't come out for, if you're watching this when this comes out, it's not going to come out for another week or so.
The 27th.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have 3 episodes to drop, and the first episode was an hour and 5 minutes. Not us, the actual episode for us to watch. But it was good.
Yeah, they're pretty lengthy. I think that's what's going to be. But it's filled with content. That's the other thing. It's not just, gibber gabber and talking. It's a lot of action. Of action. And that's what you need in those type of shows, especially if it's a military drama type of deal. But yeah, just wanted to give a quick thanks to everybody. Also, a little shout out to Jessica, who put in a comment early today. And she was like, hey, what's going on with Uma Thurman over here? You know, Charlie, she's a big star, but it looks like she's just playing a back supporting role. And you know what? That continues in this episode. We are only 2 episodes away from this ending, and she really hasn't stepped up. And I'm surprised. I was expecting that to happen in this episode, and no, it did not. It did not.
With that said, they have Doogie Howser. He was in it for 1 episode.
That is true. Doogie was in one.
You know, the Al, he's a pretty big actor to have from Modern Family.
But he lasted. He was relevant. He's a main
he was barely in it. It's like they've all had their episode. You know, the girl that from the Marvel movies, I can't think of her name. From Breaking
Jessica
Bad.
Jones, the one who played Jessica Jones.
You know, she was in it, but she, pretty much had a short part. So I mean, it's
the flow. That's what you're saying. You don't see anything out of the ordinary world, and it's to be expected.
But I think this is one of those shows where it's gone on for so long and it has such a cult following that you can reach out to some big time actors and say, "Hey, I have a small part for you." You know what happens in Dexter. If you are considered a bad guy, more than likely your story arc is going to be a few episodes at best.
So you're also saying that they're probably fans of the series and would like to be involved in something. Say, do I get killed? It reminds me of when all these other actors were jumping into Walking Dead proper, and it was like, they would sit down and Talking Dead and talk to them. It's like, what made you want to do? It's like, I just want to be a zombie. I want to die. I want to get turned into a zombie. I want to play that role. I don't care if it's for 1 episode or whatever. So that's what you're saying? Same thing?
Like Sons of Anarchy. They had like big name stars that would be in there for, you know, a very short story arc. And, you know, these shows that become so popular, many of them become their own universe. So I have a feeling that's kind of what it is, because even the guy that plays Vinnie, like, he's a known actor.
He is.
Now, and I do understand Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman is one of those people that she doesn't go on audition. There are roles that are made for her, right? But I would also argue, Barney Stinson, Doogie Howser. I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Shoot. Oh, we were just praising him but a few episodes back. Oh, you see, this is what happened because it's out of sight, out of mind. We have all our
Yes.
notes
And,
talking about this
I'm
episode.
looking at
Neil
IMDb.
Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. I
There we
don't
go.
think he's an actor anymore that goes for auditions. They say, "Hey, we have a role. We have you in mind." Right?
Yeah. I'm sure he gets to pick and choose. He definitely gets to pick and choose.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Tom Cruise, where like, Tom, no one calls Tom Cruise and says, "Hey, we want you to come in and read for this role. We think you might be perfect." It's like, "Hey, we created a role with you in mind. Would you be interested?"
All right. So maybe that's it. This is what we should expect, or something else. Because one of the things that they sort of hinted in the last episode, right at the end, when she was bandaging him up, maybe there was a little chemistry or something else going on, but I don't think that was it.
I still think that's it. Like,
You do?
I do. I mean, again, here we have 2 episodes left, right? We determined that there's 10 episodes.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah, 2 episodes left, and she's in it very little this time. But again, we've seen like she's not on board with what Leon is doing per se. At least that's kind of what I gather. And she does say in this one that her job is to protect him.
Yeah, to protect. But I would think to protect also means to listen to your protector.
Yeah.
Take advice, that type of deal. Don't just dismiss if they have a feeling, a gut feeling. It's a valid gut feeling. It's a feeling that I would think it's pretty obvious, though, for most. Like, wow, everything was going great until you showed up. But hey, let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
I just like to say, you hired her to protect you, and then you're like, you have a gut feeling. You are surrounding yourself by serial killers. Yeah. I'm taking everything into account. If someone's like, this one just doesn't seem right, right?
Maybe it was that speech when he did his reveal that really touched Leon's heart. So he just can't look past that because he definitely knows there's a dark side of him. So it's not oh, you can't question him that this is not red or whatever. I just don't think that he thinks that it's a different serial killer because he's clearly he has a mind like everyone else for this. So what? It's just this can't be a cop. Well, I'm thinking that's what I'm thinking in his head, that if he's not red, then what? He's undercover. Then he's doing a great job because he's fooling everyone.
Refresh my memory because it's been a long time since I watched Dexter. Is the Bay Harbor Butcher known as a serial killer who hunts serial killers? Is that a well-known fact?
It's what the police know.
The police know.
The police know because these are case files that they had on, or they knew of people that got off, and then all of a sudden,
is it something that Leon would have known?
Maybe. I'm sure he would have, because remember, we still don't know how he gathered all those the table and all the other things that he wound up getting from the Bay Harbor Butcher. So
if you guys know, if you guys know, let us know in the comments, please. And while you're at it, take a second, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time we drop. Yes. I almost said the terminal list.
Oh, again, and that's real quick before people think, man, these guys don't start. For the terminal list, we were so excited when we record the first episode. You'll realize it's a different intro track. And for you guys that are new to the channel, may not know that the first thing that we recorded was Reacher, and that was a track I created for Reacher. And we decided, since it's a military base, it's got that vibe, we just bring it back for the terminal list. Completely forgot to acknowledge that. So when you watch, or once it starts up and you hear some track, you're like, what is this? I was like, that's what it is. So
now the people are going, wait, you guys play music?
Right, exactly. What? It's like, shoot, I'm about to release my 8th album, people. No,
that's and if I'm correct, you create all the music.
I did. That is correct. I create all of them.
I have no musical ability.
There you go. Don't worry. We'll fix that. You could join my Slayer cover band. It's going to be awesome.
I have no artistic ability either.
Don't worry. We'll fix it all. It's all thanks to Dexter.
All the ability I ever had, I tried putting into skateboarding.
Oh, okay.
And all that did was cause me to buy more and more skateboards.
And that will be a different show. The things that we collect and hoard. And then,
I literally already have that. I already have that.
I know that is true. That is true. He does have that show. All right, let's get into it, people. All right, here we go. So it starts off with Batista, right? Batista's got his phone and he's recording everything. Very smart. Everybody should do this, like the Mormons. Remember the whole thing about they write everything? We got the recording. I definitely recommend doing that. I don't really do it all the time, but I think it's good if you have a lot planned. And at least in this situation, he's trying to document everything, because I thought from this scene he was doing this because he assumed he was going to die. That he's thinking that Dexter, once he gets too close, that Dexter's going to kill him. And this is a way to document everything that's happening. It turns out that's not really what's happening, but
I didn't think that at all. But I do feel like this is leading to Batista seeming more and more crazy, and I think we see that at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
He narrates everything that he's showing, and it's kind of comical because he's trying to track his pattern because he put his ear pods in there. Now, once those things are dead, you're not going to be able to track them anymore. But
I didn't know they had those rings. I didn't know they had that range.
They do. My son's used it before.
Okay. Because at first I was like, I'm calling February on this. There's no way this guy's driving across.
So my son's used it before, but I thought it only worked if like an ear pod was out. So again, we've watched more unrealistic things than other shows.
Yeah.
So
that's why. There we go. Oh, but we do get a lot. He does a quick recap. I just want to throw this in before I forget. Dude, the whole recap, we remember we weren't sure where Dexter was living, and we kept saying, oh, what borough? And we're like, oh, Brooklyn, Queens. He confirmed it's Forest Hill, Queens. Shout out to people on the Throwdown show, the other show I'm on. 2 people from Forest Hills, Queens. So that was great to hear that. But he gave a whole street address. I'm sure someone's going to look it up, and it's probably going to be an abandoned lot. It's horrible if the show actually put a real address and somebody's like watching the show. Yo, did they just name drop my house? You know, it's like the 8675. One of those situations.
Well, those poor people that live in the Breaking Bad house who have to deal with people wanting to put pizzas on their roof and stuff like that. I mean, most people have to go out and yell at people to stop throwing pizzas on their roof.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh man. Well, hopefully that's not the case. Don't look it up, people. Don't look it up. Just take it. It's like it's TV land. Just listen to them. He should have just said 555. Wiggle Woggle Street.
So I will say the one part that I did find funny when he's kind of documenting where he's been, and he talks about these 2 different restaurants that he goes to and this Cuban club, and then he makes some comment about the music and the dance life or something like that.
No, it was the Cuban sandwich spot. He was
like, what it was?
Yeah, he was like, and he said, but it's not that good. But that's a whole other topic. Like he was talking about like the food because he likes Cuban food. That's what it was. Yeah.
Because he's Cuban, I believe, or at least he's supposed to be in this.
That he's supposed to be. Again, put in the comments. It's been a long time. I don't remember. I would think that's what he was going for. That he was supposed to be Cuban. That's right.
I mean, they're in Miami, right?
They're in Miami, but there's other people. There's Puerto Ricans, there's Mexicans, there's a lot of South Americans.
Oh yeah, I know.
Latin America. So I don't. Yeah, but who knows? Whatever. He's very familiar with Cuban. Yeah. So then maybe that's it. Yeah, it wouldn't put it past.
Either way, tell us. Let us know.
And
now and then we get Dexter driving around thinking about all the people that he's killed in this series.
Very proud.
And then now he still has Al that he has to take care of.
Al is the last one on that list, and he's like, let's give Al a call. Let's hang out with Al. There we go. But this doesn't make much sense, and I'll get into it once we just recap this. But he calls Al, says, "Hey Al, let's get together." And Al's like, "Oh well, I can't. I'm gonna go see Hamilton, and my wife, she's expecting a kid. Got another one on the way, yay, and all this stuff." And it's like, "Oh,
she's not expecting. She's ovulating."
Well, that's expecting. Isn't that the same thing? Like it's coming.
No, that's when you try to so you can.
See, I got a couple of kids. I don't know. I never thought about it that way. I guess
your wife was not. I don't believe she's ovulating while she was having a kid.
Maybe
that's
not.
When you try and have a kid, because that's when they're most fertile.
There we go, fertile. So So she's in that mode, and he's talking about just
Like she turned it on.
and she's in there, poof.
Reach in my back, right there. Oh, right
There
there.
you go. There you go. And so he's like, all right, gotta go do this. And he was like, oh no, well, how about afterwards? And then
My ex did it though. I'll tell you that much. She had like it slotted out.
oh yeah. And there you go. Here
Hey,
you go.
John, seriously, I know people try and try. It was like that with our son. And
That's a whole other thing. But yeah, my second, it wasn't as long as the first, but yeah, it wasn't that like, yeah, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so how many kids did Al say he had anyway? It was like 2 or 3 already.
It was like, I think it was
he had a couple.
I think it was at least 3.
Yeah, he had a couple. All right. So
he's a family.
Yep, he's a family guy. He's very happy. And and he lives in Wisconsin. So that's the big thing to take away from here is that he's not close. So Dexter was like, all right, I got to figure out a way to just meet up with him. He's like, what about right afterwards? He was like, oh, yeah, I'll probably be hungry or something. He's like, yeah, there's a little spot, Cajun pasta place I like to go to. We can meet up there. And he's like, all right, cool. So that's what we'll do. So that is the plan.
And we'll talk about it when we get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then we see Leon. He's walking with people for this gala that he's going to do. And basically just going through everything. This is a little bit of a filler, but they do mention the gala, and I think that's going to come into play in the next couple episodes. And then he finally realizes.
Go ahead.
Well, just realizes, there's no wheelchair access, and this is for police officers that have been hurt,
injured, and stuff like that. Yep.
So you might imagine, and the girl kind of freaks out, but then he calms her down and asks how her son is, who has some sort of disability.
It sounded like he paid for the treatment because she said, "Oh yeah, that what you recommended and all that, and thank you very much."
When she walked away, I was literally waiting for him to be like, "Make sure she's fine."
Oh yeah, he's gonna pull one.
Totally waiting for it. Like we are so cynical now in life.
Oh yeah. I know. I was expecting that too. For him to say to Charlie's like, once this is over, please let her go. But you can keep paying the son's medical bills. That's I'm not completely heartless. I just don't like incompetent. Something like that. Yeah. I can see him doing that.
This is where Charlie basically questions Red to Leon, and Leon just says, your job is to keep me safe, so just do your job.
That is the job. She is doing her job by relaying her concerns. Yeah. That's what I did get.
He says, I just have a feeling, and he doesn't like that. But again, like, how long has he been doing? He does this once a year, and he's had numerous people. And so far, every single one of them but Al, something has happened to. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be the same way. Like, hey, we're dealing with non-stable people to begin with. And here you are just ignoring signs.
Yeah. One thing we do know is that she's been with him, Charlie. She's been guarding and protecting Leon for years, as long as this whole thing has been going, because that's one of the things that Lady Vengeance had told Dexter.
Yep.
So they've been together for a while. We still don't know the full backstory. We haven't seen another scene with Charlie and her mom visiting the mom in the hospital. It doesn't look like Leon's using that against her, like, oh, by the way, how's your mother, or something like that, like he just did with the lady.
I think the character of Leon seems very sincere. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like I don't get the vibe that his character does things out of spite, that he does things for any specific reason.
So he's not Kingpin. He's not Kingpin.
Yeah, he's doing it because he actually cares, which is really weird. This guy actually really cares about the police officers, the police force, all while he knows he has some problem. So he's connecting with these serial killers, which again, if let's say he was connecting with someone like the Bay Harbor Butcher, who kills other serial killers, it'd make more sense.
Yeah.
He wants to see the kill of like innocent people.
I don't know. I feel like I'm waiting for a big reveal with Leon. I feel like he's really
There's
pulling
no
one
big
over.
reveal with Leon.
There's got to be. I don't believe that whole
No,
story.
there's no.
Look at you with the
There's
jokes, the short jokes. There you going with another height joke. Damn, we're not even a half hour in. You were just
when you're
laying.
5'4", you have to take advantage of shorter
Oh
people than you.
my God, right? Is that what you do? You walk in the room, you see a shorter guy, and you just point.
Seth
You know?
Green is noticeably shorter than me.
Chef Green. Yeah, he is a
Noticeably.
short guy. He's a short guy. But yeah, it's we'll see where it goes with this. But that's pretty much the last time we get a real conversation between the two in this episode. Uh, it jumps over to Harrison. He's hanging out with Dante. I'm still a little confused with the whole thing of how that comes about because then Elsa shows up. So I guess he's babysitting, and she says, "Oh, you're playing with the boats," and he's like, "You're spoiling him." It's like, I wouldn't count that as spoiling. I have a different interpretation of what spoiling is. I mean,
Spoiling would be buying him a boat.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
It's
like, you see that? That's what rich people have. You're never
ex-
gonna have that because your mom is poor and lives in a moldy apartment.
we just put some quarters in to use these remote control boats, but hey, I put $1.50 and your mom says I'm spoiling you. Life is hard.
I
I'm
was a
sorry.
little confused on this too because it seemed like he was kind of babysitting, but then she just shows up and then she starts saying how like the hotel is completely booked and she's like, he turned the heat off. I'm like, is it cold there because you guys are out and
Yeah, there's no coats. Yeah, I didn't get that either. But either way, she said she didn't want to stay there because of the mold and all
yeah.
this stuff, and she doesn't know where she's gonna stay. And then I was thinking, well, Harrison's gonna try to convince Dexter to see if he can take them in. That's what I thought was
That's
gonna
what I
happen
thought. I'm
Yeah.
on board with you. I thought he was gonna say that too. But Harrison
Yeah.
found his own place to stay. Anyway,
Oh yeah. I, which is funny too, because remember, she said all the rooms were booked. Well, she doesn't know about all the rooms because Harrison knows about all the rooms. And obviously, he knows which one was not booked.
yeah.
Didn't like to share that info. But yeah, he takes blame. Harrison's a little concerned. He was like, "Oh, maybe it's my fault," and the whole thing. She's like, "No, he was a prick. He's not a good landlord.
Yeah.
You know, this is just the
It's
way
a
he is."
very short, but it
Mhm,
has to lead into where the plot of this episode is.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. So Dexter heads over to that district of where the theater is, the theater district. That's as he calls it. I know that's what it's called also, but I never called it that. I just called it, Times Square and just walk around. But he finds that there's a salon there and
That has a
sign.
note.
Yeah, that's it. Just a note. Hey, we're gone for the summer. Toodles. It's like, who does that? You're just
Whole
asking for
family on
burglars or people to just
vacation.
break in.
Please rob us.
Yeah, exactly. Break in through the
And it's
back
a
door.
wig shop. All right, let's be honest. That thing's getting looted pretty quickly. All right.
Yes, wigs. People don't know that there's big money in there. My
I
mom's been
know.
involved in that business. Yeah, big money in there. Especially if it's human hair and stuff. Ta-ching.
So
Yeah.
again, this is one of those things that happens on a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, we need to find somewhere where he can do this. And it's like, come on. Like he just happens to be walking down and be like, oh, hey, look, here's a perfect note. It's not worn, it's right there. Gone for the summer. Please unlock, set up your kill.
The neighbors don't care. The other shopkeepers, the businesses, no one cares. No one says, "Wow, someone's in there putting up stuff on the windows. What's up with that?" The sign is still in the front. It's like, oh man,
Once again, this is where people will say, sounds like you guys don't really like watch. No, we do, but we
no,
gotta point
no.
this stuff out and
Yeah,
it's
yeah. You
kind
got
of
to point this
comical.
out. You got to point, but it's to get to the point that he
Yeah.
needed a place to do it, and this is it. I'm waiting for the alley scene. Yes, we've seen him abduct people, and even in this one in the alley. But I figured, with New York City and just find an open area, and they sort of hint at it in this part where, well, we'll get to it with the pedestrian who walks by. But anyway, yeah, he goes and he sets everything up. He was like, all right, well, this is where I'm gonna do it. And I guess that's where we get our namesake. Even though he doesn't say this is a kill room, he creates the kill room.
Yeah. And so when we get Angel, he goes and looks for him because he's
Mhm.
tracking him. And it looks like there's like hardly any cars on the road or like even on the side street, which again, I've never been to New York, but
He said 49th and 6th. Right. So that's off Broadway and 49th Street. There still would be cars there unless things have changed now, though. There's a lot of areas you can't park
Okay.
because of the whole, they put tolls and stuff in certain areas now, and it's only for commercial traffic and that type of deal. So,
Really?
yeah, they're trying to milk everything they can. So they started putting all these little hidden toll areas, like for the Easy Pass type of situation, not like toll booths, and they'll hit you up like certain hours you can drive in certain areas and stuff.
I don't know.
Pretty annoying. Pretty
That
annoying.
stuff drives me nuts. The whole, and I know we're starting to get total off topic, where it says like during certain times you can't use the left lane because it's
Hmm.
supposed to help with traffic. How does taking away a lane help with traffic?
They don't want you to go. That's it. That's the bottom line. Especially with Times Square, that area would be always jam packed because people would drive through and go real slow so they can record, take pictures, maybe even jump out of the car real quick and then and then jump back in the car all the time, all the time. So I get that. I get why they're doing it. It's
What
just
about on the expressways? Like
you
I'm
could do that
driving
too.
in through Metro Detroit, and we have this new thing where like certain times, like they'll have the lane shut off, and they say it's to help with traffic. I'm like, how is getting rid of a lane help with traffic?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I don't
anyway,
know. But
that's just
also,
makes your
I
mind.
was just going to do a little segue because why do you do show and tell at work? And this is Detective Wallace, her partner. He shows up with the tuxedo and everything, but it's the gala's next week. Who does that? You should have it on the hanger and be like, "Hey, look, this is what I." You don't put it on and like, "Ta-da! Look at me, look at me." That bothered me. That bothered me.
They didn't bother me. That's one of those things where if you have one, he's kind of quirky like that.
I
I can
guess.
see him
I
doing
don't know,
that.
people, but in the comments, what did you think of that? Did that make sense? Did you think that, oh, it's this
I
weekend? That's why he's doing it. It's not.
People is Adam the only person that even thought of that?
Right? Am I the only one? Is it just me? Is it just me? But she's looking things up. She's trying to find things, and she's keeping secrets from her partner. And that's rule breaking right there. 101. You don't do that. You don't
Yeah.
keep secrets. No secrets. But he walks over to say, "What are you looking up?" Oh, nothing. And then she points out, her Sherlock Holmes style. One sleeve is shorter than the other. And it's
Yeah,
like,
I feel like she's trying to give Angel the benefit of the doubt. Like if he's a captain
yeah,
and he is so sure about this, where he's saying, no, no, no. The person that was named the Bay Harbor Butcher is not him. It is Dexter. And we obviously already have the killing of the one person. So I think she wants to find out that Batista is right.
but again, I don't think it's a nitpick, but I'm just saying, if she's a Miss Sherlock over here and figuring
I
things out, why didn't she even just double check his credentials? He just said he was the captain over in Miami PD. You can tell me
well,
she never cross referenced and say, you know what? Let me double check that because we find out at the end of the episode that that's her first call to Miami to even confirm that he is who he says he is. See, there you go. Drop the mic. It's over. We did it.
well, I'm trying to think because they show him retiring, but that is
Yeah,
before he goes and first sees Dexter.
yeah. No, I mean for her, she doesn't know that. The Wallace
No, no,
doesn't
no,
know.
but again, she may have just called and said, "Hey, do you have a detective, Angel Batista?" And
He's
they
a
were like, "Oh
captain.
yeah, he works here," not realizing maybe he retired. That's all she
Maybe.
knew.
Oh, you're filling in the blanks. Look at that. We didn't. They could have said, yeah, off camera. That could have happened, but no, no, no. You thought also something like that gets announced in the paper. Long time captain, so and so resigned. We hear it. I'm sure you've heard it in your area. Whenever fire
Yeah,
department chief or something, it would have been addressed. Again, that's probably me. Again,
but she's
nitpicking
in
is
New
like
York. He's in Miami.
I know, but she's looking stuff up online. She's going that far. So I'm just,
She's looking
but
up stuff on the Bay Harbor Butcher.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
not looking
Well,
up stuff on him.
yeah, I'm just linking also later when she did look stuff
Yeah,
up and then decided to call and she just gets Quinn because whatever. But yeah, either way, this scene we talk about filler and some other stuff. This could have been listed as filler. It didn't really do much for it besides
yeah.
just seeing that she's looking things up about Bear Butcher and keeping secrets from her
Well, I
partner.
mean, it does say that she is looking into it. Like this is still on her mind. Like she's like,
Mhm.
maybe there's something to what Batista is saying.
Yeah. And she also doesn't want to go to the gala. No surprise. She has no
Yeah.
plans of going to that, But there we go. So then we get a Dexter. He's on a table getting ready to get some acupuncture done by Joy. Remember, that's her whole thing. She comes over. She's got the needles. She's doing the acupuncture. She tells him the good news. Her fiance got into business school out in LA. No surprise. Mom, dad, not happy. And he even says, yeah, of course they're not happy. You just lost your dad lost his mom. You lost your grandmother. It's a hard time. And she's like, oh, maybe I should be a little more sympathetic. They came from Sierra Leone, and how the mom got him out, got him a whole new life, and then he just lets it. I don't know if it's a slip, but she started that conversation. She led into already implying that she knows this stuff of the story. So he was like, yeah, and being a child soldier, that's not easy. All that stuff. And she was like, what? He was what? And she never told. He just met you, and you know more about my dad. And she just freaks out.
There's two things during this. So first off, I didn't think anything of it.
Okay.
No, I do remember him kind of telling him in confidence. But again, if I'm Dexter too, and here you are getting acupuncture, and I'm assuming you're fairly relaxed, and the way she's bringing stuff up, I think like she knows the story, and him just saying, hey, you know what, for him to be a child soldier, and this is where she kind of starts breaking down, and then goes into the whole, like, you've only been here 2 weeks. Now we've established he's been there at least 3 weeks. I'm assuming now we're in about a month. Now, I know we kind of discussed it. I have a feeling this was just kind of one of those things that was thrown out. Just like, like, dude, you've been here like
exactly
2 days,
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah.
So I don't think it's supposed to be an actual point of reference. With that said, this episode could have been filmed earlier on. You know how they do that sometimes? And
then they go back and it's like, oh, we changed the date. We forgot about this line. Oh, we said 3
weeks. There easily could have been like after the episode or after the season was done, they looked at like we never established time. And then maybe went back and cut something and kind of added that in to give an idea. Who knows?
A lot of shows hate that. They hate acknowledging time because clocks are everywhere. You have to deal with the weather and conditions and certain things. And I remember there was one show where the guy was like, all right, I'll meet you at 2:00. He was like, and he looks at his watch and it was like 12:50. But then you could see at the restaurant where he was, it was like 4:00, on the wall. It's like, oh, they didn't even think about that there's a clock in the shot, and that's part of the scene, and that had a completely different time.
But, and again, like you going back to that, the Office, if you listen to directors, they say we specifically try not to talk about dates, times. We try not to bring technology like cell phones, although there are a couple cell phone episodes, like when they break Andy and he punches a hole in the wall.
I just keep thinking parkour.
You don't remember when they broke Andy?
I remember
they put his phone in the ceiling and they kept calling it and he couldn't figure out where it was at. And he finally
season? I gotta watch it.
I'll watch it again. And he punches a hole in the wall, and Pam leans over to Jim and says, I think we broke him.
See, now I gotta look that one up. I gotta watch that one again.
And then he goes away. Then he goes away on the sailboat, and then he comes back. I think he had to go film a movie. So then they get that's when they get the new managers.
That's when they get when all the new managers started. We had that rotating.
They keep rotating.
Yeah, that was weird. But it's again, that was the same situation, I guess, like this one where we're hearing a lot of celebrities that were fans of the show and like, oh, I'll do a cameo. Yeah, I'll come on. Yeah, let's do it.
That's actually a perfect show for that.
Yep, it is. Then are you gonna watch Paper? I don't want to drift, but Paper.
I will give it a chance because I have to pay for Peacock, but I'd give it a chance because I did see who is in it. So
yeah, should be good. Good.
Oscar's in it, but I don't know. I mean, again,
they said there's going to be some cameos also from the original cast. So
I think you have to. Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, there is a spinoff to The Office called Paper, and rather than and it's to do with a newspaper, not paper, and like
but it's still in Scranton. It's still in the same town. So
Oscar works there, and at the end of the the trailer.
Trailer.
You see Oscar, and he's like, "I did not agree to this again," like something like that. So
Yep.
I don't know.
Real quick, so we just to get back on here, if someone's wondering why the acupuncture, it's because he was having issues with a soldier when he was setting things up in the kill room, and he was rubbing his shoulder. So it wasn't like a scheduled appointment, because I could see someone leaving the comments like, when did this ever come up that he was going to do this? It didn't. We just know that she does acupuncture, and he had brought it up. It's like, oh, maybe I'll do that.
He's done it before.
Yeah. So
so
so he called to get that done, but
they do kind of live together, so or at least or within distance, because she's there with her dad all the time.
Yeah, but once all that's done, he gets a call, and it's Harrison, and this is when we thought, oh, he's gonna say, can I hang, have Elsa and her son, can they stay at your apartment? No, that's not it. He wants to meet up. He's got some issues to talk about, and this and that. And so he looks at his phone. He's like, oh, let's meet in theater district. Well, which I guess the way Harrison sounds surprised, but then again, your dad is a rideshare driver. Maybe that's where he is. And maybe it just makes sense.
Yeah, that's the best. Those are the best tolls. They tip the best. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be. And it is expensive around there if you go to call for one of those. Like we said, everybody knows we don't use the Uber and stuff, but I have a buddy who lives and works in that area, and he lives in Queens, and he says it costs like $50-$60 one way just for him to take an Uber or share drive.
You people that live in New York, I don't know how you can afford it. Same with California. Crazy.
It's pricey. Yeah, you get a good salary, and it all goes to pay your bills. That's how it works. All right, so let's see. So then they go in and meet up. And then Harrison starts telling him all the issues he's having with the landlord. The whole thing with Elsa and the last landlord.
He feels he made it worse. And then Dexter offers to, hey, maybe I can go talk to him. And maybe hearing from an adult. And again, I think we all know how that goes. I think I don't want to say we all, many of us, when we were that age, our dads were like, you know what? Let me have a talk with him. I know my dad did it to the dealership when I said every time I took my car in, the service manager, it wasn't one of the service guys, he treated me like a little kid until my dad went in and said something to him, because my dad would take his car in there all the time, and this guy went, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Mr. Frontera, if I would have known it was your son or my son. And my dad was like, it doesn't matter if he's my son or not. You treat everyone the same. They bought a car, they're bringing it in, Yeah. But that's what Dexter kind of thinks, and so okay, like I don't know. I don't think I'd want my dad, if I know he's a serial killer, going to talk to anyone. Well, I think maybe I do.
Anyway, I remember one time I had an issue with a kid in my building, and I called my dad. I was freaking out, and he showed up with a bat. So he was getting ready. He didn't even care. And I now I think about it, I'm like, I was kind of young. So for him to think that he was just going to start bashing some other little kid's head with a bat, now that I think about it, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring it up. Like, shit, wait a minute. I think I was like 10 years old. Why did my dad bring a bat for that? Unless he thought that the kid I was having trouble with was a teenager or something. I don't remember. I got to ask him. What was up with the bat?
Maybe just a scare.
That could have been him. Could have been him. The scare. All right. So he says, you know what? Don't worry. I'm not going to kill him. I'm just going to talk to him. And it's like, all right, well, we'll see what happens there with that.
But now Dexter is trying to figure out if he can fit him into his code.
Yeah. And of course, Harry's like, he doesn't fit the code. This is not what you do. And he's like, well, he's looking him up online. He's a horrible landlord. There's all these complaints, right?
Yeah.
He's evicted people. There's mold. There's all this stuff. He's not a nice landlord. And says, still, he's a bad guy, but that doesn't mean he needs to die for it. And it's just the voices that Harry gives.
And I almost feel like Dexter was trying to find cases where someone lost their life because of how he wouldn't take care of stuff, and all the people that he's thrown out, right? Yeah. Because I kind of feel like that maybe Vinny would not have made it out of this episode if not for a specific thing.
Mm-hmm. But it's perfect timing, because while he's doing all that, it's because he's outside waiting for Al to get out of Hamilton. And so he's like, all right, well, let's just get this over with. And everyone starts leaving, and there is no Al. Well, there's nowhere to be seen. So he calls him up. He's like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh, my bad. I should have told you. You know, I didn't know there was a lot of rapping in that show. I call BS on that because if you know everybody is hyped about Hamilton, all you got to do is look it up. And in the trailer, they're doing all the raps. It's clear as day. You know, but whatever. He says it was too much rapping, and he called Leon and told Leon that he was going home early. Forgot to call Dexter. Sorry, but I'm already on my way to Wisconsin. Dexter's all upset, and he's like, all right, well, you know, maybe I'll go visit you there. Where do you live? And I mean, for serial killer stuff, I mean, that was a little goofy, but there's no way he's gonna spill that, and he doesn't. He's like,
And I actually like how I like how Al addressed it. And he's like, I like to keep my personal life separate, but hey, I'll probably see you next year.
yeah, and so brushes him off.
So I do want to say this though.
Mm-hmm.
What Al did is one of the most infuriating things that friends used to do. When they would just, we're going to meet up. And then they don't show up. And when you talk to them 2 hours later, they go, oh, well, I decided not to do that. Oh, phones don't work. Most infuriating.
How about before phones? Remember when there was no phone?
Hey, there were pay phones.
Man, all right, go ahead, say so, because I have one. I had a buddy of mine. We're like, oh, we're gonna go to this movie. I was like, all right, well, I'll meet up with you. There was no cell phones at the time. That was before cell phones. You had pages. It's like, all right, we'll meet there. It's like, all right, so I'll be like toward the middle row, right, on the aisle side. He's like, all right, cool. I'll meet up with you there. I show up early. I'm there. Movie starts. I look, still nobody. Halfway through, still nobody. He didn't show up. I look at my pager, no page, nothing. So then I call him. So what happened? He's like, oh, I was getting ready, and then I laid down and fell asleep. My bad.
Infuriating.
Yeah.
Especially as a skateboarder. Hey, we're going skating at this time. You know, and then they don't show up. Or hey, we're going to see a movie, and then like, oh, we decided not. Oh, just
not
Al.
Good. I call BS on that too.
I could fit that in the code. I could fit that in the code.
Fit it in the code. You know, just track him down. I still call BS on that because he had just made that plan. And if you know that there's only two people left, which is Red and Leon, I mean, Red and Al, they still, I think, maybe they still have Lowell listed on all this, but they don't know the situation. But still, for him to bail like that and not call when you just made those plans earlier in the day, it's one thing to, yeah.
Okay, I got my back scratcher out. Now I'm pointing. That happened the other day on a live streaming. They're like, "Whoa, he's got the back scratcher out." I'm like,
"Whoa."
What if when he called Leon, Leon said there's something going on with him, and that's the reason why he left?
Could be. Yeah, maybe he is buying into what Charlie said. And putting two and two together
because at the end of the episode we see something.
Yeah.
Maybe by this time he called.
Yeah.
He told them and said, "Hey, you know what? Things aren't. I was gonna leave early, but I'm taking off. I'm gonna meet up with Red." And maybe he said, "Hey, you know what? Not a good idea. Just go.
Just go." Yes. You know what? That would be. Oh.
And this would be something that Red would. And this would be something that Leon would say to him, right?
What? Yeah, but what if this is all BS? What if Al's not even headed back? He's headed to the mansion. He's headed to meet up because they're still going to meet and they're going to bring Red. And this is all a swerve.
I don't think so because I think, you might be right.
Because again, he's there. Al said they're all there for the money.
He had no reason to leave. You're right. He had no reason to leave. He used it. His wife was ovulating. So, yeah, maybe. Again, we don't know all the time. Like, we don't know the full timeline of when Charlie says to Leon, "Hey, you know what? This doesn't seem right." Yeah. Compared to when he ends up talking. When Dexter talks to Al about it. So maybe that's it.
Yeah. And again, people, we're just going off that episode. If there was a trailer that came after showing teasers for episode 9, it's like, but didn't you see it? They showed Al and they showed everybody hanging out.
Yeah.
We didn't see that. We didn't see it. So if that happens, then all this gets scrapped. But if it doesn't, this could be the possibility. So you just said it, that maybe Leon called up Al and said, all right, are you still coming tonight? No, I'm going to go see Hamilton and then go home. But then, oh no, then I'm going to meet up with Red. He said he wants to meet up. Oh, Red said he wants to meet up. You know what? Scrap that. Meet me. Go. Just get out. Just finish up. Go halfway. Leave. Head to my place. Or maybe he called him during the show. So where are you? It's like, oh, I'm at the show. Just go to my place and don't worry about it. And let me know if he calls you. Sure enough, he did. And look, asking all these crazy questions about where you live and all this stuff. But all right, in the comments, what do you think? You think that's the thing? You think that's happening? They're all in on it.
Now I'm kind of thinking maybe that's it. He got a big time actor. He's the one that survived.
He's the one. You can't let one get away. Can't let one get away.
So then we get Dexter going to see Vinnie. Mm-hmm. And basically, he's just sitting there waiting, and the secretary calls, and he yells while she's on the phone with him, and Dexter can hear everything. Yeah. Dexter kind of loses it, breaks in there. And I mentioned to you, he's roughly the same size as Al.
Yeah.
So he's already created space for Al. Now he should have the same space for Vinnie.
Mm-hmm. And then we see again, the show is just letting us know, don't feel bad for Vinnie. If it wasn't enough with the mold and the tenants, hear how he talks to his receptionist. Yes. Do your job. You can't do this. You just let him walk in. What is she gonna do? Tackle him down? Come on, she's not security. She's just a receptionist. She was, and it's so small too. And for him to scream, he was screaming on the phone. That's how Dexter could even hear. He called him the AO. You know, he did all that. It's just So
yeah, she doesn't have to tell him because he heard everything.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, "You're not a cop. You're not a lawyer. Then get out of here. I don't need to talk to you. I don't care."
But then we see Harrison going back to the school, and he sees Gigi giving another tour, and says, "I just went to try to get financial aid."
Yeah.
And basically, they agree to go on a date.
Mm-hmm. Good luck with that, my friend, because they're going to want information about your surviving parents. Mom passed away, but dad's still alive, and they're going to want to know what he's doing and get all that. Come on, man. Everybody knows there's a lot of paperwork. They don't just hand you money.
Well, if he may not be, he may be trying to get it himself without the backing of his parents.
But you still have to provide that information.
Yeah,
I remember times I was like, "Yeah, I'm working. I could do this." Like, are your parents alive? What does it matter? We just want to know. We need this info. It's like, oh man, all right.
Okay, well, I don't.
His name is Lawrence. He lives out in Michigan. I gave all your info.
I don't think that has anything to do with the plot, so I'm okay with ignoring that.
Yeah. All right, see, there we go. We'll just let that one go. But hey, he wants to go to school. Yep, he wants to go to school. He says everything's fine. You know, she's happy he's there, but he's picking up on the signs, picking up quick, wants to hang out. Yep. She's a little quicker. She was like, yeah, we could do that tonight. And he's like, hey, you like dancing? I didn't even know he liked dancing. Right? I mean,
maybe he's one of the smart guys that said, hey, you know what? I don't need to like dancing to know that all the guys, but a couple guys will be standing there not dancing, and those are the ones that get the women.
That is very true. Very true. I know a lot of buddies that are like, yo, I could dance. Like, all right. And then we go out and man, all eyes. I was like, there you go. You got the stage. Oh man.
But then we see Vinnie just kind of walking down an alley, basically into Dexter's trap, and Dexter nabs him.
Yep, nabs him, takes him down.
He's got the
syringe.
Well, the syringe, but he's got the nylons over his head.
Yeah. Keep his head warm. That's why. Gotta keep him warm.
Yeah.
And then this answers your question. Go ahead, say it. Remember the whole thing of the people. He's like, there's nobody around, and no one says anything. And sure enough, there's somebody there. And you know what? Just keep walking. Don't pay no mind. And Dexter says, that's why I love New York. No one cares. No one cares.
Kinda
I mean,
scary.
I've seen some crazy shit. I don't know if I've seen that happen. I'm pretty sure that would have been alarming. But I mean, I've seen people carrying other people like on steps, like, oh, he just had too much to drink. I don't know. What if he just drugged him? What if he's bringing them somewhere to do something? I'm just like, all right, whatever. You don't have to explain yourself to me. But
Nope. Yeah.
yeah. But he has them, and that was quick. There we
And
go.
then we see that Dexter has Vinny on the kill table. And I think this is where the name of the episode comes into play for the most part. Right? So he already had it all set up. Well, we saw him setting stuff up before he knew Al wasn't going to be around. So luckily he has the perfect size table and everything. And
He's putting it to
on
use.
there. But there's something different about this. Dexter still has the pantyhose on his face. He normally has no reason to do that because he knows the people aren't going to be let out.
Loose. Yeah.
At this point, I don't think that Vinny is going to be terminated.
Yeah, and I think that was where he was getting at. And the same thing. Yeah, once I saw they still had the sock and all that, it's like, oh, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. This is just
has more to. Dexter still, again, even though he may not care per se, he cares about people in general. And he probably has more to gain by this guy agreeing to fix all this stuff up, which he does, and we find this out, rather than murder him, and then who knows who's going to take it over now, right?
Yeah, take it over, and then not only that, who's going to investigate? Is it going to be Wallace again? And then they're going to put 2 and 2 together because, like, all right, did he have any complaints? Oh, some guy showed up. If they talk to receptionist,
no one would be looking at him when you think about it.
No, the receptionist, because they're going to talk to receptionists. Like, did Vinny have any visitors? Anybody upset? Yeah, this one guy, and then describe him. And then they'll put 2 and 2 together when they see some of the other tenants have complained. They'll find Elsa. They'll say, hey, I know you from the hotel. Wait a minute. You're friends with Harrison. Harrison's Dexter's kid. You're all killers. This is it. Oh, man. They could have gone that route, but they didn't. Anyway, so he's doing that. There we go. We'll write our own version. Who needs AI? We can figure this out. I have a brain. I don't need that.
So, but as he has him up there and he's going through his ritual, and again, I think we're both in agreement he was not going to.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do it.
Angel is outside because he tracked him back here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sees the plastic all around, which we noticed right away. And like, that's kind of obvious.
It just
there's a couple things to that. If I'm the neighbors, I'm like, why is there plastic up there?
Yeah, why is there light inside?
Yeah. Are they bombing something? Like,
exactly right.
It could be.
Exactly.
So then Angel decides he needs to break in. Now, of course, I think most people know this. Anything here is...
It's admissible. You can't use it because he had no warrant. He had no cause. He had no jurisdiction.
Yeah, he's no jurisdiction. And come to find out later on, he's not even a police officer anymore.
No. What, he's going to scream out from the burbs. Remember? Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest! The citizens arrest.
And so Dexter hears something, he cuts it, he takes off. Vinny goes running through, busts through Batista, but doesn't follow him or anything because he wants to try and get a hold of Dexter. Dexter is long gone, Vinny is long gone, and now he sees everything. They've never seen this before, right? He's never experienced the kill room.
Not like this, no.
So now it's like, oh, this is how he does it. And sure enough, he calls the detectives and they come over.
Wait, he has because they found the bodies before like that. In some cases, I'm pretty sure in OG Dexter, they found things set up. I don't know if they found.
I don't remember. That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah. I think go ahead and comment. I'm not too sure. I could be filling it in my head because I could have swore. I know that some of the other detectives, Quinn and stuff, have stumbled in on it. I'm pretty sure Batista had seen it, but now he's really linking. He's like, oh wow, this. I'm on the right path because what's the chances that all this type of setup that was in Florida is now here in New York? It's got to be Dexter. It's got to be Dexter.
So,
We get a Dexter in the car, flipping out, trying to figure
Yeah.
out how does he know?
Yeah, he starts freaking out, and then he starts thinking there has to be a tracker. And he searches everywhere, only find out that it's literally in the side compartment on the passenger side. And he smashes it. It is funny that Dexter's kind of aggravated that how dare he actually try and hunt me down. Like, you are the serial killer, all right? Like, woe is me has gone out the door. You don't get to do the woe is me, all right? You're picking on little old me. Well, that's because you're doing it.
I mean, he even laid that line. He was like, I'm going to have to deal with this. It's like, I can't see him killing Batista. That's also breaking his code. He's not doing that.
It goes back to what I think will be the ending scene.
Maybe. I just realized, did we skip over when Dexter went back home and talked to Batista's wife? I mean, Blessing? No, right? I think we did.
Yeah, I think we did. We also, we're right at the point where we actually kind of missed the whole forgot to mention that Harrison loses his big V.
But we get to that because it was we're at the club, they're dancing.
Yeah, but we didn't mention it.
Yeah, we didn't mention it. That's right. But
I'm assuming that he's the big V.
I don't think so. He pretty much knew what he was doing. He was getting things set up.
That's kind of what I thought too. But hey, you know what? There's a lot of stuff on the internet.
That's true. Maybe he had his phone out on
one
hand.
He's like,
do I move again? Do I do that? I don't know. Wait, I gotta flip this sideways. I need that horizontal view. Let's go. But he does that. That was interesting only because of the response after that. During that, right before, when she mentions that she can't be a cop or a detective because of nerve damage in her hand and it's spreading to her other hand. I think she's got something else going on. But he said, hey, there's other jobs. My dad was a blood spatter and he wasn't a beat cop. He never did any of that stuff. There's other roles you could play.
I believe that's a lot of filler, to be honest. But it worked, right? We got to see.
Yeah. I think she's a killer. I think she's going to kill him. That's far-fetched. I know people are like, what? Phew, there's no way. I think that would be a big surprise if we find out that
he's surprise.
It'd be a big surprise. I mean, because she lies a lot. She lies a lot. Remember she was all the things that she said before about her parents and all that stuff. And then when they were in the elevator, and she was like, wow, I always wanted my first time to be done in a fancy hotel. And he's like, no, it's full of it. She's like, yeah, now you're getting the hang of it. Yeah, it's full of it. I'm not.
Well, again, those are little
all right, little lies become big lies. Okay. Then we find out she's not even a student there, and she's just some wackadoodle who shows up. And then he'll go there one day and talk to security. He's like, hey, where's Gigi? You saw her? We got to kick her out again. She's so crazy. That'd be a big twist. Big twist.
Her dad was the third rock from the sun guy daughter.
Right, there you go. Hunting
down. What killer was he?
He the Trinity.
The Trinity killer.
The Trinity. Yeah, she's like, your dad killed my dad. And I set this all in motion. It's got to be an even deeper cut. It was like, your dad bumped into my dad who lost his job back in season 3, episode 4, and it altered my life. I was a baby and he dropped me, and that's why my hand twitches.
So this is where we have Angel, who calls the police, the 2 detectives, and says, you need to come here. I have proof now. Mm-hmm. See, I think this leads back to he never had proof of what the kill room was. How was everything done so cleanly? Because everything was done.
No, he never had proof here. He over there it's one thing, but here to show and tell. Yeah. This is all here. Yeah, no, he's never seen this here.
And both detectives show up, and they're asking him questions. He's trying to explain everything, and I liked this. I like this a lot because by the time they're done, they ask him the exact same question I was saying. He looks like he has staged this. He seems like he's an obsessed cop. And he's just doing anything to close the case. right?
That's true. That's true. I mean, it
And
does play into what Dexter told her. Remember back
yeah,
at the college.
and so like they even asked, they're like, "You broke in here? Yeah, there's no blood. Where's the guy at? You didn't follow him? You didn't like he was a big guy. That's what he just kept saying, right?
Yeah.
And then I like the fact that he said, "What do you guys think? I set all this up," and they were like, "Interesting that you mentioned that." Because that's what I was thinking. Like I was thinking, like they're gonna be like, "Wait a minute, you are obsessed with this guy, and now
Yeah.
all of a sudden you have no proof that he was here, right?" And he doesn't.
And playing the audio, I don't think helps his case. It just shows that he's really upset.
No.
He's like, "Oh, I got this audio." It's like you don't. I was expecting, if I was a detective, to hear Dexter's voice or someone else. All we hear is your voice, sir,
Had he been
saying where you're at.
recording him while they were driving, when he was driving him back,
Mhm.
that would have been more like, listen to
Yeah,
how he's talking. And I'm bringing these things up to him. But when he plays the recording, he pretty much says, I'm crazy. I will do
yeah,
anything to get this guy. And they're just like, yeah, you know what? This isn't working. It's funny that you bring that up.
yeah. But what's also funny is, and you brought this up, they don't book him. They don't cuff him. They don't do anything. They just like in a normal situation, they would probably say, you know what, there's something else going on here.
I
Let's go
kind of,
talk downtown.
yeah, I
Let's
kind
sit
of
down.
gathered that this was professional courtesy.
Yeah.
But yeah, he broke into a place. And now someone's gonna have to explain to these owners when they get back from their, 3-month vacation, why is our
Yeah. Why is it
why is our wig shop shaped like a kill room?
right? What happened here? Who was doing painting or remodeling or whatever it was? Because you put up all those plastics. It could be other things.
Yeah,
Oh man. But yeah, and then this was where we got that quick wake up scene. That's it that we just mentioned about Harrison and the
yes, he
girl
wakes
and
up a
all that stuff.
man.
Right? That's it. It's like, oh, I'm a man.
He has become a boy. He went from a boy, and now
You still think, go ahead, people in the comments. Do you think he was a virgin? I don't think so. Right, that's it. That's the topic here. For some reason, Lawrence is obsessed and thinks he's a virgin. I don't think so. I think the guy was experienced. Plus, he knew that there was available room, which Elsa had just said there were no vacancies. So he keeps secrets, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember in New Blood, he did have a girlfriend in that. Uh,
well, I
I
didn't watch
don't.
that, so I'm
Yeah,
just
no. Yeah, I know you didn't watch, but I don't. It's been so long. I don't know if they got down and dirty. I don't know if that relationship evolved to that level,
well, he gets
but
down and dirty in this one.
yeah, and he wasn't nervous about it. But hopefully he came prepared. Keep it safe, people. If you're, but that was never brought up. I don't like when some shows do that. They don't bring it up. They just met. You don't know. But anyway,
So then we go to the detective calling Quinn.
yeah. She was looking stuff up online. She's still trying to figure this out. She's confused. Looking stuff about the Bay Harbor Butcher. So,
and yeah, she brings up the Bay Harbor Butcher, which kind of causes him to kind of have like a mini panic attack. I would assume that this has got to be like extremely sensitive for them, right?
oh, well, with everything that happened, and as much as Batista's like, oh, I never got it solved. Well, Quinn was also part of that whole unit. He never got it solved either. So,
yeah. So then he kind of walks away, and he basically they asked him about it, and he says, "Well, first off, like, well, he just quit. He's no longer a captain, and we don't know why he quit. He just up and quit for no reason." Again, this is making him look crazy.
yeah. Or why he's in New York, because he never told them he was going to
Yep.
New York. So he's like, I don't know why he's there. I don't know anything like this. Now, they don't go any further, but it would have been cool if she brought up, well, he's here to find Dexter. I've met Dexter. And like, what? Dexter's alive? That would have been, but no.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he doesn't know Dexter's alive.
He doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Because I don't believe Batista told him any of that stuff.
No. Because they said, because remember he said he's going to be working on something and he just needs to, that's what he's going to, because they were like, oh, what are you going to do now that you're retired? He's like, I got something set up. I got something planned. Yeah, but no, he never revealed that information, and neither does Wallace. So at least not at this point.
And then we see Harrison and Dexter having dinner.
Mhm.
And Harrison's like, I don't know what you said to him, or what did you say to him? He's fixing all of this stuff, right? Because one time on a kill board makes you completely change the way that you are going to run your housing.
Hey, it's the
Might
ghost
work.
of Christmas present that will freak anyone out. And that's what Dexter offered.
Who is the ghost of Christmas present?
That's Dexter.
No, but I
He is-
mean, which one is the ghost of Christmas present?
it could be any one of those. It could be the Scrooge story.
Yeah, I know.
But
Which one was it?
from Scrooged. That
Yeah.
one. The what you call it? No, I was thinking of.
Is the
not
ghost
him.
the female
No.
ghost?
Wasn't it the guy who froze to death? Wasn't it the guy who froze to death that was working? That he was homeless, and his girlfriend over at the house or whatever. When he found, like, why didn't you go to the hotel? I mean, to the shelter. Claire could have took care of you or something like that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, okay.
blanking. I think that's it because we know it was his boss was the first one. Then there was the angel, the
But in
lady
the
that was from
story, which
Taxi.
one is it? In the actual story, which one is the ghost of Christmas?
And we just drifted off into a Christmas Carol or a Christmas story.
Well, no, is it Jacob Marley?
Jacob Marley. No, because that was his boss. No, his partner, his business partner. That was the first one.
That was the ghost of Christmas. Christmas Past is the female.
There we go. All right, so it's all right. See, so who's present? Who's on third? It's like
Four Horsemen haven't made them yet.
Yes, there you
That'll
go.
be this year.
We'll figure it out.
That'll be this Christmas one.
This Christmas.
I'm looking at the other two. I didn't know which one it was. I was trying to figure out which one it was.
In the comments below, go ahead, leave that. That'll be fantastic for someone who has not watched this episode at all. And when they do, and they see a comment, the ghost of Christmas present was, they're gonna be like, what were these guys talking about? Because that was not brought up in Dexter.
Hey, if you've watched enough of this, you know we're gonna go off.
Yeah, exactly. If you made it this far, thank you. Click that subscribe, click that like if you made it this far. This is fantastic. Thank you. I'm just saying. All right, but this was a shocking moment. This was a shocking moment. And I love the acting right here from Michael C. Hall because he definitely delivers that shock expression on his face. Because as he's talking to him in this restaurant, he just stops and looks at the camera. But then the camera pans out and we see it's Leon. And he's there, and he's like, I didn't know you had a son, Red, right? Oh, yep. And then we see in the street, Charlie just standing next to the car.
With a smug look on her face.
Yeah, she was tracking him, just like Batista
and he
was.
Does say Red. He says Red.
Red.
So that would be a shock to his son sitting right there. Now, luckily, Harrison knows what his dad is.
Yeah.
So he may just be like, all right, I need to play along. And then I'll figure out exactly what's going on after.
And he also doesn't know Red. It's not like a dark passenger. If he's up in the news, remember Red was referred as a dark passenger. So it wasn't like Red. It was like, oh man, my dad's been killing drivers too. Oh man, he's gone off the deep end.
And that's where it ends.
And that's where it ends, people. This was good. There's a lot going on in this episode. A lot of twists and turns. The end result now, it looks like Batista is going to be under investigation by Wallace. Maybe he's a Bay Harbor butcher. Maybe that's what she's going to put two and two and try to figure that out.
See, I feel like these next two episodes, I think they've done a good job of setting it up. So Batista is going to be, I believe again, Batista in the end is going to be the person to take him down.
He's still going with that. I don't know.
And until we were talking earlier, I thought that Al will be one of the people that he has to that he goes after in the next season. Because clearly, Al, what Al does is absolutely awful, right?
It is.
So he has to be taken care of. But like you said, maybe
he didn't go.
He was kind of tipped off, like, hey,
yeah,
don't leave yet. So
Or here's a big twist. Let's say Dexter gets his comeuppance with all of this, and Leon's like, "Oh yeah, don't give. I'll give you whatever you want." I'm sure Leon or Charlie know where Al lives, his home address.
Oh yeah.
Definitely Charlie, because she can hunt down everybody. Remember, she's the one finding their trophies and doing all that stuff.
She hunted down
the first dude, and then the
she hunted
episode.
down Dexter already.
Yeah, she hunted down. There you go. I mean, she's.
You know, we skipped over. Blessing going off on.
Yeah, that's what I said. That was the whole thing with that theme there. We completely skipped over that whole thing, But
which I think that's going to come into play too.
Yeah,
there's no reason to even address that if it doesn't have a plot somewhere.
Yeah. I thought maybe he was going to get hurt. Something was going to happen to Blessing, one of those things. But
That's what I kept thinking too.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anything, he's just going to have to leave. Either way, I don't know if we know there's going to be multiple seasons of Resurrection. I just don't know if they stay here in New York after this. Maybe they go to another city and do a tour and bounce around. I'm be cool with that too. Why not go everywhere?
I thought they're gonna have to leave.
I think so.
Yeah.
Where's Leon from? Where is Leon from? Do you remember? Because he's not from New York. I don't think he is. Or maybe he is. He does those charity events. I could have swore he was from somewhere else, but maybe not. Maybe it's just everyone else's. All the serial killers are from somewhere else.
I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I want to say Boston.
I think it's Boston.
Like Massachusetts, like somewhere around there.
Maybe.
It's from the East Coast.
He's probably somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever. We'll find out soon. There's only 2 more episodes, people. So thanks again. Thanks for sticking with us through this episode. Again, we're covering the rest of this. We also have Chief of War that we're covering. We got the Terminal List coming up, which next week, 3 episodes. Watch it. It's on Amazon Prime. 3 episodes, day 1 drop. I hate that. That's a lot just to watch in general, not just covering, but just in watching. I don't do that. I don't sit down and watch the 3 episodes or 2 when it is that much. I have other things going on. I'll watch one, come back to it, follow the other one.
I mean, I'll do it if I'm just watching a TV show. I mean, I watched The Waterfront.
Yeah, you talked about that. Yeah.
I watched The Waterfront and I finished 8 episodes in like 2 days.
Yeah.
But we don't do that. Like, we don't binge watch. It's a lot. You and your brother did Chief of War, right?
Holy moly!
And you said I got done at like 2:30.
Yeah,
if we would have done that, that would have been 3:30 my time. I'd literally be laying down for the alarm to go off for me to go to work.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to do all of that. So, and plus, it's too much to cram. We don't like cramming. As you see, look at all the content. Look at all the things that happen in this episode. If we want to do a proper breakdown of all of it, you can't just be like, he went to his room and then what happened? They talked about something. Okay, and then they go in this other room. If you do that, then that's not a breakdown. That's not really discussing what happened.
You know what? There's a lot of wonderful other YouTube channels. That do
or
that.
just AI ones. Somebody pointed out. Oh, big shout out. We had Whirly over for the Chief of War in the comments pointed out that main reason why that he likes just how we do our shows, just one and the other ones, is because we're actually people talking, and pointed out how many
that we are people.
Yeah, we're all fake. This is not real. This is all AI generated. And that's the whole thing. It's like there's so many other reviews channels out there, of course, but a lot of them are not just doing AI essays, and they're not presenting themselves. And as we saw with some of the other ones, we have actors, we have crew members and stuff jumping in and commenting. They don't have to do it. We're a new channel. There's plenty of big channels. They're doing it because they see that we're real people. We're watching, we're discussing it, we're critiquing it to a level of interest, not just like, oh yeah, this happened this way. Well, we don't care. We have an interest in this. So, and that's great. And that's what this is about. And that's why we want you guys involved. It's not just us. It's all of us. This is it. Go ahead, comment, talk. Let's talk. What else are you guys watching besides this? What else are you looking forward to? Like we said, we're looking forward to Terminal List. We got Slow Horses coming after. Fallout. That's the other thing we're looking forward to. I'm watching Alien Earth. That's all right. I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I'm sure a lot of people are also into that.
Hey, I told you my moderator on my YouTube channel, him and the guy that he does another show with, they started watching it and they said most of the first episode of Alien Earth was really good. And I think this is the last 10 minutes, it kind of went off the rails. They said the second episode wasn't good and they were hoping that the third was going to get back on track. I haven't watched it, so I can't speak on that. I just know
if the things that he doesn't like are the same things that I didn't like, then he's not gonna like the third episode because there's more of that, and that's just how the show put everything together with the characters. But hey, I'm not gonna spoil that. But hey, if you want to talk about that, go ahead, bring that up. Bring up what other things you want to watch. Thanks again. I'm Adam. He's Lawrence, and we will be back next week for episode 9.
Take care.